Hello, I'm Bez from Your Big Brother Plays, and who doesn't love messenger apps? There's something we take advantage of a lot nowadays, especially texting the people we love. But what if you could text sexy men? Even better, fictional sexy men. That's what Mystic Messenger is all about. Mystic Messenger is an Atome game released in 2016 by the company Jaehee. In this mysterious messenger, you are led by an unknown person to a strange apartment and a messaging app. On this app, members of the RFA, Rika Fundraising Association, communicate, and they are startled to find someone breaking into their forum. After you explain this wasn't your doing, they warm up to you, then ask you to take the place of their dead founder Rika and invite people to parties like she did. Yeah, it's weird, we'll get to that in a minute. You accept, weirdly enough, and find yourself communicating with the members, checking private messages, and sending emails to people to invite them to the party. There are 3 modes in the game, and each has different love interests. Casual Story, which is free, has the pass for Yoosung the gamer, Zen the actor, and Jaehee the assistant. Deep Story has pass for 707 the hacker, and Jumin the CEO. And another story has pass for V the leader, and Ray the somebody. As of this recording, I don't know who Ray is, and please no spoilers in the comments. It's a bit weird that the RFA hasn't found a replacement for Rika by now. Don't get me wrong, the grief about Rika is totally understandable, but it's been a year and a half. If they really wanted to replace Rika, they could have done that by now instead of waiting for some random girl to show up. It's kind of strange. Yeah, and let's talk about that. The fact that the instant a new woman shows up, these guys are all like, yeah, she can replace Rika, let's do parties again. It's like they automatically assume that the task Rika's had to do could be only done by another woman, which is kind of weird. As soon as a female person shows up, she's pushed into Rika's very difficult job, treated like a love interest and an emotional dumpster, all at the same time. It's a bit disconcerting, and I think the player character kind of deserves better treatment if I'm being honest. And as for the guys, I didn't really like any of them, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, there are things to like about them, but I couldn't see a relationship with any of them going particularly well. Yoosung and Zen, are the ones I ended up liking the most as people, but I was like, would a relationship with the narcissistic actor or the addicted gamer go particularly well? I think as this game encourages self-insert a lot more than most Atomes do, so I'd insert myself in that situation. I really think about it from my point of view. But that's just me. If you love these guys, if they're your boys, that's totally fine. Like, love them, but that's just how I saw it. Also, did I mention this game is really hard? It's really easy not to give the guy you're looking for enough attention, and therefore get a bad ending. The first time I played, I got Yoosung's bad ending, which is just a 2-second cutscene and then a bad end screen. That doesn't sound too bad in most visual novels, because in other VNs you can save and restart whenever you want. But in Mystic Messenger, you just spend real life days to follow a route. So getting a bad end is really frustrating. As far as I can tell, you can't really save the game aside from when the game asks you to save. Please let me know if I'm wrong about that. Please, I want to be wrong about that. So that makes playing especially tough. Luckily, I persevered and found myself going down the Jaehee route. Secret career route for the win! Yay! Let's see what it has to say. Jaehee works as an assistant to another RFA member, Jumin, who is the CEO of CNR International. Jumin constantly overworks her by giving her challenging projects with tight deadlines, and Jaehee basically has no choice but to do the out there things he comes up with basically on a whim. Like at one point he's like, oh, a cat hotel would be nice, so he gives her an assignment to Jaehee and make a presentation about it for the company. Seriously, this guy's terrible! Anyway, the closer you get to Jaehee during a route, the more she starts to believe in herself and see that she can be independent of the selfish jerk she works for. She also gets closer to Zen, who hurt his ankle during the route. She goes to his house and cares for him, and later he gives her a coffee grinder as a thank you gift. Meanwhile, 707 has noticed a hacker messing with the RFA's messenger and tells V about it. V eventually meets with the hackers, convincing them to leave the RFA alone. But back to the cat hotel thing. 707 insists on helping Jaehee with it by making this presentation slides, and she accepts his help. Jumin is super pissed at this, and the fact that his beloved cat Elizabeth III wasn't chosen by Jaehee to be the mascot of the hotel. Being the petty rich man that he is, Jumin fires Jaehee. Thanks to you helping her find her independence, though, she sees the firing as freedom, and you continue to encourage her to follow her dreams. At the very end of the route, V tells Jumin to leave the RFA as V is dying of terminal liver cancer. Did that feel out of nowhere and out of place to you just now? Because that's exactly how it feels in the game. If you invite 10 people or more to the RFA's party, you get Jahee's good ending. At the party, Jumin approaches you like a whiny baby and practically begs the player to be his assistant, resulting in Jaehee using the microphone to call the player over to her and away from Jumin. Once you approach, the two meet in person for the first time, and this is what she says.
남녀 사이에서 느껴지는 핑크빛 연정도 아름답겠지만 당신과 앞으로 새삼스레 잘 부탁드려요.
Ooh, I think we're gonna be quite a bit more than friends, Jaehee. Quite a bit more indeed. Thanks to you, Jaehee is no longer consumed by work and is thinking for herself, a free spirit. She asks if we want to move in together or maybe start a company together. It's a little unclear to be honest, and the game ends on that happy note. I tried to see the video that comes after this, but it didn't play. So I don't have footage of that one, sorry. And that's the Jaehee rap. I thought it was pretty good, if not a little bit naive. Because to get the best ending, you have to tell Jaehee that unemployment is perfectly fine after he gets fired. And on one hand, right, she's not in a toxic work environment anymore, thank God. So good for her. But on the other hand, being unemployed is not, how do I say this, good. That's why I choose to believe she starts her own company at the end with the player. That would explain where she gets her next job from. So, you know, that I think there's a company at the end, and you cannot take that away from me. Overall, I think it's a great route, extremely gay, and it's just really good. It's a really feel-good route. I love fangirling with Jaehee about Zen. I love seeing her grow into her own and become a more independent person and kind of flourishing as she meets you. It's like, oh, good for her. Good. I love it. Well, that wraps up our discussion Mystic Messenger for today. I hope to cover most, if not all, of the routes eventually, but I had to actually play the game to do that, so, you know, give it some time. Since it takes real actual days to go through each day in the game, it takes some time to get the routes. So, you know, I'll publish more videos as I go, but expect to see them every once in a while sporadically as I make my way through each round of the game. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving me a like and subscribing. I don't get any money from YouTube for doing this because I don't have enough subscribers, so that would really help me out. If you really like the video, I have a Patreon at patreon.com/Norbit, where you can support me and get early access to my work, vote on future works, and even get a custom video or blog post if you want one. Alright, I'm Bez from Your Big Brother Plays, and I'll see you next time. Bye. That's it. That's the end. Oh, okay. Cool.